As California goes into full-fledged crisis mode over its historic drought. Governor Jerry Brown announcing historic water regulations on businesses, local governments, and city residents. Earlier, he fast-tracked $1 billion in funding for water infrastructure projects. But where does that leave farmers? RT's Lindsay France reports from California's Central Valley.
Farms in agriculture are prospering, and they could go out of business next year. How many businesses do you know that are prospering and profitable that go out of business? None. It's going to happen in California, I guarantee you. If we have no water next year, it's going to happen. Successful farms are going to go out of business.
Just as Joe Del Bosque was making plans to hand down the farm he built with his own two hands to the next generation, a perfect storm hit California. One of the worst droughts on record. 4 years of little rain in the lowlands, scant snow in the mountains, plus high temperatures statewide. Standing in a meadow in the Sierra Nevada mountains on what should have been several feet of snow, Governor Jerry Brown announced California's first ever mandated water restrictions last week. The directive mostly reins in residents and cities. But for farmers, it's pretty much the same old story. Zero water reserved for crops.
We're kind of wondering where that does leave us.
He'd hoped that President Obama's visit to his fields last year might get the message out and yield results for allotting farms more surface water.
And I told him, Mr. President, if we don't have water for this field, we're not going to grow any melons there.
Sierra Nevada's snowpack drains into a large low-lying delta. Vast quantities of fresh water flow straight out from there into the ocean, creating a water wall to keep the salt out of the delta. The remaining water is diverted to cities, fish habitats, then farms. After a dry winter, 2015 has arrived, and the field where Obama spoke still lies empty.
Since we've changed to drip irrigation, we actually produce 30% more crop with 30% less water.
And yet it's still not enough. It takes 60 gallons to grow one melon. On this 125-acre field alone, Del Bosque could employ up to 150 people, and with his water-efficient drip irrigation system, produce 1,250,000 cantaloupe. Steve Malenka deals in tractors, and right now, no one wants a 5-year, $300,000 loan on one.
All of us are being affected. There's an irrigation company that supplies irrigation equipment. There's tractor dealerships, there's car dealerships selling cars to the farmers, and everybody's affected. There's without exception.
Judging by the asparagus he showed me, they won't be. 100 gallons of water are needed to grow 1 pound, which is why 20 workers are in the fields instead of hundreds, and just a few dozen bins are needed. A common solution that farmers like Del Bosque offer is this. During rains, increase pumping on rivers and reservoirs, allowing farmers to put that rain in the bank and use it in the hot summer months instead of turning to other methods. What do you do for your family's water in the homes around here?
Most of them are on groundwater. A lot of the cities, even the small towns, are have wells and use groundwater.
That groundwater will take years to replenish, and it's on track to be further regulated. The alternative is buying water from farmers with older water rights. 20 years ago, water cost $80 for an acre foot. That's jumped to between $1,200 to $1,400, an investment only used sparingly on the best returns.
It was now not necessarily how much can we make per acre, it's how much can we make with an acre foot of water.
Customers may not be feeling the pinch of the drought at the grocery store checkout stand yet, but you can bet as the drought continues, as water restrictions continue and fields lie fallow for longer, you will feel a price hike in things such as lettuce, broccoli, cantaloupe, pistachios, and of course, good old asparagus.
We grow the kind of foods that the First Lady would like to see our children eating to be healthier and less obese. We grow the fruits, nuts, and vegetables that everybody wants now. That's why we're fighting so hard, because those consumers have so much demand for what we grow. They want healthier food, and this is where we grow it. When you run out of water, you stop.
4 years into the drought, Del Bosque estimates 3 million acres are unplanted here, with more to come if his predictions are correct. In California's Central Valley, Lindsay France, RT.